same as our first speaker. It's about Socrates. That he said, if you get a good wife, you'll be happy. If you get a bad one, you'll become a philosopher. How many of you are married or in a relationship? Raise your hands. I'm sorry for you guys. Women are happy and men are depressed. I understand you because I'm married too. This tragedy happened to me 2 years ago. I see my wife is sitting over there and she's telling me you're dead. But anyway, I decided to make it public before my death tonight. Recent studies showed that married men live longer than single ones, but they are more willing to die. Hello, Toastmasters and friends. My story takes me back to my childhood when I asked my father a simple question: how much money do I need to get married? He simply said, I don't know, son, I'm still paying. At that time, I didn't understand what he said until I grew up and experienced it myself. I met my wife 3 years ago. We fell in love, and still we don't know who first. Whenever we argue, she says, you fell in love first. I said, no, it was you. She said, I was walking my way. I said, you stare at me. This way we went out for about a year. I proposed her to marry me. She simply agreed. But when she said her parents had a dacha out of Kyiv, I freaked out. I said, this marriage is with benefit, man. That's awesome. I started dreaming about resting time in nature, drinking coffee in the morning, while listening to the birds. Romantic. But I was very naive. And I had no idea what kind of trouble I got into. It was Ukrainian dacha. We went to their parents to get permission. And surprisingly, in spite of the fact I was a foreigner, they agreed. But before they said yes, my future father-in-law said something weird. He said, you're a good boy, Hoosh. They call me Hoosh. I call myself Dr. Hoosh. That's cool. They said, Hoosh, you're a good boy. And since we don't have a tractor, we agreed. I didn't understand. I thought, because I couldn't work out what was the connection between tractor and my marriage. I thought it was an Ukrainian old saying. I didn't much attention to this. I got married. Spring came. The dacha. My dream house was an old, spooky cottage. It didn't have any hot water, even no water supply. We had to pump the water outdoors and bring it inside. And then my parents-in-law showed me a big land, beautiful. They told me, this is all your son. I look at them, I was thrilled, and with happiness said, thank you, that's very kind of you. And then they gave me the worst present I have ever been given in my life, a new shovel. And they said, we need you to cultivate and get ready this piece of land for planting potatoes. I said, what? It wasn't inconvenient to say no. And I just headed for the land, and then at one point I felt I was betrayed. I got back to shout and call my wife, Sieta! They said, shh, she's resting. And this way, my life started. I had the opportunity to study new Ukrainian, Russian gardening terminologies, like Buryan, Sarniak, and I got acquainted with these two guys, Maisky Zhuk and Kapustyanka. They show up. And I got studied to how to fight with them. And it's not all. I married one person, but I had 3 bosses. I wife comes. She tells me how to work properly. You need to make this hole deeper, wider. I say, okay, fine. Because marriage is a relationship in which one person is always right, and the second one is usually the husband. It says, son, these holes are very close to each other. They need some distance. I say, okay, fine. And finally the big boss, my mother-in-law, comes. She makes some comments on everybody's job. And then she looked at me. Хороший зять. Где его взять? And she picks on me and starts telling me, criticizing me what I should not. And when she gets mad because something is wrong, she starts speaking these mixed languages. Ukrainian, Russian, Surgi. And when I don't understand something, she says, "Понаехали," and goes. So as you see, my marriage life started this way. And probably you think I'm the philosopher, not happy guy. But you are mistaken. I'm a very happy man. Because it's not the reason that my wife is sitting here and I'm afraid to tell the truth because she can call, call my parents-in-law. They will add 50 square meters to dig as a punishment. No, because I look back in my single life when I was lazy, useless, and my life gradually was losing meaning. But now, I have some reason to move on. It's not potato. To set my goals and achieve them. And moreover, I have someone and something to care about. First, my wife, and second, our garden with potatoes.